Today's show is a serious topic that shouldn't be taken lightly. If you know anyone suffering from domestic abuse, verbal abuse, or too afraid to walk away from the situation, then please contact this National Domestic Violence Hotline, 800-799-7233. Ours is 24/7. You can also SMS text. Just text START to 88788.
I was being so foolish, trying to wait around for me. I be at the crib, you know I held it down for you. You doing your thing with your girls and I respect it, cause you know I'll always be at.
Welcome to RizzAsylum. I'm your host, Rizz. Happy Friday. Hope you've had an awesome week, but I do hope you are ready to enter your weekend drama-free zone. Time to relax and unwind, to enjoy your free time with your family, friends, loved ones, to have some real fun. For those who may have to work, I'm truly sorry. But hey, let's make the best of it anyway. Let's try to block out the noise and make your bubble of peace and get through the days. Try not to allow anyone to destroy your peaceful state of mind. Today, I want to open up with this here. We all go through trial and tribulations, depression, feeling alone, trying to figure out life, how to accomplish your goals, your daily tasks. Some others tend to do things on their own, too stubborn to reach out for help. Some of us are more so afraid to reach out for help, to admit that you need assistance. Even some may not recognize or identify the fact they do need assistance. There are people out here that is afraid to be alone. Human beings are a social species which require safe and secure social surroundings to survive. Satisfying social relationships are essential for the mental and physical well-being. Impaired social relationships can lead to loneliness. Since the time of dawn, loneliness is perceived as a global human phenomenon. Loneliness can lead to various psychiatric disorders like depression, alcohol abuse, child abuse, sleep problems, personality disorders, and Alzheimer's diseases. That's how powerful this subject matter is. You know, we tend to see domestic violence. Some mind their business and won't say a word. People are afraid to interfere in other situations because the woman sometimes stays with the man, or they may get mad at you for saying something, or may lash out at you for your interference. Blame you if the man chooses to leave them behind just off your involvement. There's no wrong in offering help or a hotline for them to call for help to get out of their abusive relationship or marriage. No one deserves that type of treatment in any situation. If you cannot handle your matters like a civilized human being, then why are you with somebody? Your spouse, your significant other, or your mate isn't your pedestal for you to lash out, hit, verbal assault, or control. They're supposed to be your equal. Now, imagine somebody you'll go to war for, like somebody hit your mother, your sister, your auntie, or your grandma. How would you feel? You wouldn't like it. You'd be ready to go to war. So take that feeling that you will feel and imagine the person you beating on, how their brother or their uncle or their father will feel about you laying hands on them. It's the same thing, nothing different. When situations tend to get heated, then stop yourself, regroup to reassess the matter at hand, then reapproach and try to fix it without the insults or comparison to past or someone else's situation, because that's not what the situation is. Every situation is different no matter how similar it may appear. That's not the argument there. Only thing happens is more fuel on the fire. I don't care if it's staying out late, cheating, or not handling what was asked prior. Nothing deserves verbal assault nor physical abuse, period. Nothing is ever that serious to get to that point. If you're at that point, then it's time to make your exit out their life. I don't care if it's your mate, your wife, your significant other. There isn't no excuse to lay hands on no woman. in any situation. I don't care how bad your temper is. I don't care how red you see in your mind like a bull ready to attack. There is nothing that serious for you to get to that point. Nobody is your property and shouldn't be treated as such. Everyone's entitled and deserves respect and equality. They don't need to feed your ego or your insecurities you may have. If you can't control your temper, then you shouldn't be involved with anyone in the first place. Now, ladies is not off the hook either. I don't care what the situation is, how mad you are. That doesn't give you the right to get all up in their face, get mad and mush their head back with your fingers because you in your feelings and you feeling some type of way. You shouldn't egg on anything either. Everything can be resolved without insulting each other and without putting hands on each other. Period. If you are listening and you're one of the individuals I'm describing, then I hope you are paying attention, taking notes. You can never fix any relationship with insulting one another and bringing out violence in each other. Once you finally calm down and everything's over with, your relationship can be more damaged than it was before the argument, just based off the violence you brought, the unnecessary add-ons. If you truly want to get past it, forget about the sarcastic remarks, unnecessary insults. Just break things down with the problem and how you're going to fix it with a solution. Rest assured, if you are together in a relationship or a marriage, if you can't get along, then it's best in time for you to move along.
You're now rocking with DJ Rizz on the RizzAsylum.
And we're back. And it's time for our question of the day review. From our last episode, our question was, why do you envy your friend or a loved one secretly? Answer 1 comes from 2K. I think they envy them secretly because if they say it out loud, then they know they will become what they don't want to be labeled as, a hater. Yeah, they sipping that haterade over there. Answer 2 comes from Chick Magnet. Interesting name. Whether they admit it or not, they don't want to see anyone successful over them. I like that answer, and I actually can agree to that because I know a few people that's like that. And when I hit them with that question, boy, did they get furious at me. They didn't even want to talk to me for a week. Answer 3 comes from Team Loyal. An insecure person will praise you when you are in front of them, but will tell lies or gossip about you behind your back, mainly because they're two-faced. Hit you with that Batman's nemesis, Two-Face. They play two sides of the story, huh? Answer 4 comes from Matthew Fox. Someone who is envious of you may also try to mimic your behavior and imitate every single thing you do. They don't want to tell you they don't like you. Okay, so they're afraid to admit they don't like you, but they'll mimic everything about you, huh? Interesting. Answer 5 comes from MJ2K. It is a jealous person's nature to try to outdo you in every way possible. They want to steal all the glory, not because they think that you don't deserve it, but because they know you do, and this makes them feel inadequate. Interesting. Very interesting there. All right, now we moving along straight into some promotional gear. The TR Apparel. We just released loyalty and respect jackets. You can cop those at the trapparel2.com. And we also released one of our latest t-shirts. It's entitled Respect My. It's one of the interesting shirts we got out, and I'm pretty sure everybody can relate to it. And on the front of this shirt, it says, respect my grind, respect my mind, respect my time, and respect my shine. People start seeing you once you've made it. People start making time once you're on TV. People start pretending in front of cameras. Where was that energy and respect in the beginning? This became one of my all-time favorite shirts. Now it's available to you at trapparel2.com. And don't forget to support the new single that's been released called Get It Lit featuring Masquerade. You can find me on that Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube Music, any digital media outlet you can find Ta-Rizzle. Let's run up those streams and purchase that single as well. Now back to the fashion side of things. Get out here, let's support the brand. Let's support the movement. The Loyalty and Respect movement. The Loyalty and Respect collection. Check it out, TRApparel2.com.
You're now rocking with DJ Rizz on the RizzAsylum.
Welcome back. It's the famous part of the show where you send in your letters to RizzAsylum at gmail.com. That's RizzAsylum at gmail.com for advice on any crisis or issues you may be facing or need a different perspective or advice on. We are glad to help you through any situations. So please feel free to send in your emails to be selected to be read on air for assistance at RizzAsylum at gmail.com.
You're listening to The Recovery Letter.
All right, let's get it to the letter. Subject read, Domestically Confused. Dear Recovery Letter, Stephen and I have been married for 14 years. Things have been bad between us for a while. It always feels like a push and pull contest until one day, Stephen threatened to Baker Act me, and in a state of fear and anxiety, I did it to myself. I was afraid, suspicious, and angry. I had to drop out of school 3 times. I put Stephen through law school, helped him get a car of his dreams. He went to Cancun on vacation after he had filled out a statement to the police department and had me arrested for domestic violence. The argument was about Stephen coming home late. He shows up after drinking at his best friend's birthday bash. An argument ensued. I believe in honesty and solving problems in the privacy of our own home. I believe in marriage and that God sees all things. Stephen filled out a statement to keep from going to jail. He sold his wife, friend, and lover out. I am now on probation. Stephen would not admit that he is a verbal, mental, and emotional abuser. He uses money as control. I have to let myself become financially dependent on Stephen. We used to be friends. Now, it's like I have to be careful about everything I say and do. I don't want to leave. Stephen will not change. It's like a spiritual battle. We both want to be ourselves. He won't go to lunch with me. I am not allowed to visit him at work. He gives me no information about his finances. He moves his checking account. He would not reimburse me for money that I spent to get the house fixed up for refinance. And yet, he wants his money. He pays the mortgage and the utilities and thinks that this gives him the right to be verbally abusive. I have often wanted to videotape our conversations. Stephen does not think that he ever does anything wrong. It is hard for me to work and concentrate at school. I am intelligent and attractive. I wish I knew how to turn this around once and for all. It is hard to live with these possibilities of going to jail because you are not allowed to argue or defend your position and right to be respected. I want to be financially independent, and I am seeking full-time employment in a non-commissioned job. I pray continuously. I know he has some kind of goodness in his heart. I mean, we have good days. I enjoy those. People tell me I should leave before things escalate into something more dangerous, but I don't see that happening. I can't see Stephen being that way with me. He's not a monster, just a little bit controlling. What should I do? Well, this is a unique situation here, and here's why. You are in denial about your marriage. You see what's going on, but then making excuses for Stephen. You say he's not a monster, just controlling. However, earlier you said, and I quote, Stephen would not admit that he is a verbal, mental, and emotional abuser. End quote. So not only is he controlling, he's a verbal, mental, and emotional abuser who can never admit to anything he does or says is wrong. He cannot see himself as being wrong for nothing. That's a problem. The real next step is domestic abuse, where he begins hitting you physically. He's showing you signs already with controlling everything. Verbal abuse, the mental abuse, the emotional abuse is building. It's going to take the right situation where he loses control of his anger. Then he strikes you. I get the fact that you're married, and it's supposed to be better or for worse. This is beyond worse. You signed up to be married, not controlled, not verbally abused, and it's sure as hell not mentally abused. Not no dictatorship. It's supposed to be a marriage of unity, where you both come together as one and work together. What's even crazier, here is the fact that he has you arrested for domestic violence and then filled out a statement and went on vacation afterwards. Where is that normal? All that because you have questions to his whereabouts, to why he's coming home late, but he can verbally abuse you without any repercussions. Now you're on probation due to your husband having you arrested. That's a coward move, Steven, because you didn't want to be interrogated. You didn't feel obligated to answer her questions. So you have her arrested and write a statement. What kind of man is that? Then you turn around and go on vacation. What were you really doing on vacation to where you didn't want your wife there with you? There's a lot going on here. You are not discussing it with your wife. Do you have a secret life she doesn't know about or something? You are not ready for marriage. You do not know what it takes to succeed and build in a marriage. It's quite obviously showing that you only care about your decisions, your needs. If your wife doesn't listen and play the role, then there's consequences. And you are the judge, jury, and executioner. You made some demand for your wife not to visit you on your job? Is there another woman at your job you may not want her to know about? That's a question that should be asked. Seems like you have a secret agenda here, and you never want her to get close to the truth. So you verbally abuse to shatter her self-esteem, shatter her mental capacity, and have her in the fear to ask you anything or speak for herself. Look, Miss Domestically Confused, I don't think this is the correct marriage for you. You've submitted 14 years of your life already. Nothing has changed. Quite honestly, nothing will ever change. This man will still be the same man, and here's how I know he don't believes he's wrong about nothing. So a man who never believes he's wrong about anything lets you know he would never change. His belief, as they like to say, is his way or the highway. I don't believe the marriage counselor can help you to at this point. It's beyond repair. If you stay with this man, sad to say your future will indeed be death do you part. That's not a road I want you to embark on, especially your family and your close friends. They want what's best for you. They do see what you cannot see or what you fail to admit. You being victimized by a conniving, manipulative, controlling man who only wants you to obey his commands. Please seek help and get out while you still can, while you're still alive.
You're now rocking with DJ Rizz on the RizzAsylum.
Welcome back. It's time to get into the question of the day. The question of the day is, why stay in an abusive relationship or marriage? One more time. Why stay in an abusive relationship or marriage? Please leave your comments below in the question section. For the YouTubers, please leave a comment below. IG followers, please leave your answers in the comment section of the post question of the day. You see, this is a very serious matter people face worldwide. So please drop what you think on this question. Now let's summarize everything up until the final thoughts. You know, after hearing all this, it makes me get to this point here. When y'all building in a relationship, y'all supposed to work together in unity. Y'all supposed to be practicing being married when y'all in a relationship, actually. Y'all building towards something. Y'all building towards a home together. Y'all building towards a family together. Y'all building towards being married. That's a package. But in order to get there, there's every steps that you got to take. Every stepping stone there is. You got to learn how to communicate to each other. You got to learn how to work together. You got to learn the most important one is compromise. You can't overshadow the other person's feelings. You got to learn how to compromise with that. Trust is a key factor. You got to trust each other. It's not about making demands. It's about compromising with each other, hearing each other out. So in order to build towards that happy end game, you need to start respecting each other. But most of all, understand that y'all not going to agree upon the same things all the time. It's okay to have different opinions. It's okay to have disputes. It's okay to feel a certain type of way. But the most important part is y'all supposed to sit down and communicate with each other about what's going on. Hey, this is the day-to-day. This is what I'm feeling. I didn't like this. Maybe we could work together on changing something that we both can be happy with. It's about compromising, not letting your ego and pride get in the way of everything. Check that at the door. Once you're in a relationship, it's about you two. It ain't about demands. So understand that. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions. Everybody's entitled to their own feelings, how they feel. You can't tell them how to feel. You can't control who they around. It's about working out and trusting whoever they around, they're not going to do anything dumb that forsakes you. Now, in order to build into a marriage, is that one simple ingredient, and that's called understanding. You need understanding. If you don't got understanding, what are y'all doing? Now, I'm about to disrupt some feathers with this right here where I'm about to angle this now. Now, for everybody that's involved in a serious relationship or a marriage, and we get to that abuse side of things, now this is where everything takes a turn. Ladies, stop creating the atmosphere for a man to become abusive. I'm not condoning them to be abusive. What I'm saying is don't create the atmosphere to avoid this. If you know you got a crazy guy and you know he can't control his temper, why create the atmosphere where you know he ain't got it all up there, so you know what's coming after that? He's going to take a hit. He's going to hit you because you already know this man is crazy. You know what type of man you have. So why create the atmosphere for him to put hands on you? Now, for the other ones who don't really know, and didn't really create the atmosphere, they just took it there because that's how they feel empowered, because they just like to hit women. It's time to leave. Stop making excuses and saying, oh, I love this man. This man loved me. It was just that one time, or he won't do it again. He promised not to do it again. It's the same old, the same lies that you hear constantly. It's a repetitive thing. If he hitting you, it's time to go. There's no more excuses around that. Because if you keep sticking around, something bad is going to happen. The abuse is going to continue to happen. The only thing is, it's going to get worse to the point where he might knock an eye out of the socket, or he might put you in the grave. So you need to understand the repercussions to stand with somebody that's very abusive, and you know he's abusive. And if you got family members and friends telling you this man is not good for you, he's abusive, and you know that, why stick around? Something in your mind is not right if you want to stick around. Don't keep blaming that on love, because that isn't love. Abuse isn't love. Stop saying it's, oh, because he loved me and all that. No, it's not love. Understand that. He's just a crazy dude who just like to beat women, period. And you keep feeding his ego. Keep getting him to that point to where he feels good. It's like an emotional high for this man if he keep putting his hands on you. Every time he put his hands on you, he feels so powerful and feels so good. Stop giving him that power. It's time to walk away. Know when to walk away. Stop sticking around to the abuse. Don't cry out victim when you already knew this man was abusive. You stuck around to continue the abuse. It's one thing to catch it one time and you didn't see it coming, you wasn't aware that that was that type of guy. That was your moment right there to walk away. Now, if you choose to stay after that point, everything else that comes with that is all on you because you chose to stay in that type of environment. It's a lot of women out here that wants to get out of the abusive lifestyle. I've known a few that's been in that abuse, and I've known a few that got killed behind a jealous, enraged, infuriate man who wants to abuse women, and it's not acceptable on any level. So what I need you to do is know who you're with. Understand who you're with. Know their limitations. Know what they will and won't do. Know your value. Know your worth. When to walk away. Know the signs. Anger to verbal abuse. Mental abuse. Shattering your self-esteem. Controlling issues. After all that, and you keep rubbing in their feathers, what you think is next? Physical abuse. And that's what we don't need. We don't need to see more people fall in that entrapment. It's time to see things opening your eyes and stop making excuses for what's right in front of you. Take it seriously before they end your life.
You're now rocking with DJ Rizz on the RizzAsylum.
All right, welcome back. You know, now we coming to the end of the show. I won't see you next Friday or the Friday after that. I'm taking a 2-week vacation, and I will see you after that. So, enjoy this weekend. Enjoy the next 2 weeks. Have fun with your loved ones, your family, your friends, your soulmates. Y'all have fun. I'm out of here. Rizz Nation, I'm out.
I was being so foolish, trying to wait around for me. I be at the crib, you know I held it down for you. You're doing your thing with your girls and I respect it, cause you know I